The views and opinions expressed on Analyze This are entirely those of the on air participants and do not reflect those of the station's board, management, staff, or underwriters.
And we're back here on Analyze This, and we live streaming now. And we've got the National Breast Cancer Coalition in the house.
Actually, a member.
Hold on a second. We get the microphone up.
Yeah.
Get your microphone up.
Oh, my microphone.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, we're good there. Good. Please introduce yourself.
Diane Hampton. I'm the project director for the VI Breast Cancer Project.
Sir.
Yes, I'm Joe Coleman, former lead singer with the Platters. Down here to do a couple of shows here on the island.
What you doing in my studio, Mr. Big Shot? What you doing in my studio?
Hanging out, man, hanging out.
The Platters from back in the day for real?
Only you.
That's what I'm talking about.
That kind of stuff right there.
Don't stop. Go right ahead.
Oh, wow.
A pleasure to meet you, man.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here, sir.
Miss Hampton, how you get this Big Shot down here, man?
Well, we ran into each other a month ago at our 60th class reunion at Roosevelt High School in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I told Joe about what I'm doing here and what we're doing to inform the public and encourage the women and men who have been diagnosed with breast cancer. We're celebrating their lives.
Joe, what's your last name?
Coleman.
Coleman.
Yep.
No, you come out of D.C.
Yes, I come out of D.C., yeah.
You graduated from high school. 65?
65.
Congratulations, man. No, man, life is precious, man.
Yeah, truly. That's true.
And beautiful, man.
That's right. That's true.
Miss Hampton, you set me up this morning, man. You know what I mean? Because everybody knows that I'm a music connoisseur. You know what I'm saying? I like my music, all genres.
Yes.
You know, so when I hear DC,
Yeah.
right, don't hold it against me, Mr. Coleman, but it ain't got a thing if you ain't got the go-go.
Yeah, I know you was going with Chuck. Come on.
Hey, Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers, you know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but DC,
Yeah,
the actually the Mid-Atlantic area, rich history of music.
absolutely. Yeah, Marvin Gaye and all the
Oh
guys
my
like
gosh,
that.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
sure.
Roberta Flack, right?
Roberta Flack, yeah.
She's Baltimore or DC?
She was, well, you know, yeah, she spent her, she went to Howard University in D.C., right?
Yeah.
And so there's a club in Washington called Mr. Henry's that she pretty much made it famous. I have a residency there now. I sing there once a month, come in and all that. But yeah, she set the tone for that kind of thing there. Yeah.
No, we're gonna talk breast cancer, but we're gonna talk music for a little while, Miss Hampton, if you don't mind.
I don't mind because it's through
If you
the
don't mind.
music
Yeah.
that helps to heal
Yes,
us.
it's
This is healing.
it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
This is
saying?
exactly what.
But
yeah.
you know, wind them up, Chuck. Yeah, that, if you want to talk DC, you got to start with Chuck because he's
Nah, man.
he's
Yo,
something. Yeah.
that go-go music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Washington D.C. because of its educational presence and foundation, right? With all those universities
Yeah.
and people coming into Washington D.C. From around the world, right?
That's correct.
It brought in all of the. It's like a music.
Yeah.
It's like a melting pot.
Melting
You know
pot,
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to get to that word.
Yeah,
That's
you know what I
it.
mean.
Yeah.
So
Kind of melting pot.
my
That's
my
right.
dad went to as a Howard graduate,
Oh, okay.
and we got a lot of Howard graduates
What they say?
from the
You
Virgin
know.
from the
Yeah, what they
Virgin
say?
Islands.
You know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it's good. So you bring Joe Coleman up in my studio. This
A
morning,
surprise,
man.
right? A surprise.
I could never thank you. You know what I'm saying? So the Platters, give me some history. Originally formed.
We formed in Los Angeles,
Okay.
53.
1953.
Yeah, way back then. I'm second generation. I wasn't one of the
Original members. Okay,
because they're 80, and they're all deceased.
All the original members.
Yeah, they're all deceased at this point.
So when did you join with them?
I joined them in 80, 83, 84.
Okay, 84.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Marvin Gaye was actually making a comeback.
Yeah.
Until his unfortunate incident in 84.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where did your travels take you?
I can't name a spot. We pretty much there. Hong Kong.
You did the globe.
China,
you did the globe.
Did the globe. Name it.
What's it like being in a group and you're traveling the world and you're hitting cities and you're performing?
Oh, there's nothing like it's the epitome of what it is to be an entertainer. That's what we all strive to be. You go out there to make music, but you want it to spread around the world, and so to have the opportunity to take that great music around the world and be
is it addictive
accepted.
though?
Of course it is. Because you kind of have to be a little bit crazy to be in the business in the first place. Because you're living off the land. It's not, there's no paycheck coming because you worked 40 hours, right? If no gig, no money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're out. You're looking to get to that place where people are appreciating you, and you're able to spread it out, and make music and see the world, meet people all around the world.
Who were your musical influences growing up?
So many. Nat King Cole, I love Marvin because we DC guys together. Marvin just had a style that was unique, and so he kind of want to open my mind up to the fact that you can do music in so many different ways, and
so you knew him personally, though. You had got to meet Marvin.
I got to meet Marvin.
Wow,
wonderful guy. Actually.
Yeah. Was he tall? Like he was up there, wasn't
he? Yeah. I guess he was like
6'3", somewhere around there. But he was skinny, so he looked taller than he was.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but
Miss Hampton, who was your musical influences growing up in DC?
Oh my gosh!
Back in the day,
my influence. Smokey Robinson. Listen, my girlfriend and I almost had a fight at the Howard Theater when Smokey threw his white tie out in the audience, and everybody wanted to. They were all grabbing, and I'm like, oh God, we're gonna fight over this tie. So Smokey was one of my favorite, and I also loved Ray Charles because I grew up in D.C. We went to the Howard Theater all the time. That's where all the Motown artists performed there, and Ray Charles, of course. I loved Ray Charles.
No, I'm a history major. I'm not a historian, so I like to read, like to research. So, the Godfather of Soul.
Yes, sir.
James Brown, James and the Man. Right? I found out playing James Brown music, right, where I used to hang out. People used to say, Maceo. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't just about James Brown. It was the sax man. Maceo Parker was the man, right? So I found out a story that Leroy Fleming, I don't know if you know that. You should know that name, right?
Yes.
That was the sax man for James Brown before he left to go to D.C. Apparently they're from the Carolina area, South Carolina, North Carolina, and he ended up playing with Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers. I don't know if you know, in that song for Chuck Brown, Bustin' Loose, right? He said, "Hey Leroy, give me some of that horn," right? But his the Leroy he's talking about is Leroy Fleming, who used to be a sax man for James Brown, and that's how Maceo got into. The stories are beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, when you say if I'm DC, I'm sure you know all of these players. What was it like when you guys aren't performing and you end up in the same place and you're just hanging out and reminiscing. That has to be even more rewarding than the actual performance when you could sit down and reminisce.
You know, that's one of the great joys of the business is when you run into the guys and, you know, you can kind of share stories and lies. And, you know, just kind of hang out. It's a benefit because most of the guys, you know, are cheering you on. You know what I mean? So it's a family. It becomes quite a family. Hey, you know, where you been? Yeah, I was just there last. You know, blah 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 blah. You know, and you just, it's fellowship is what it is. So that's a great part of the business when people can all get together.
No, the final question, because we gotta get to the breast cancer.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna take advantage of this opportunity, right? What moved you the most? Smaller settings, the cozier settings where people are right next to you, or the big stadiums where you get 15, 20,000 people going crazy?
The energy is so different in those two environments. Right? First of all,
that's the terminology, the environment, correct?
In those environments, the energy is so different. They both have their space, right? I mentioned that I have kind of like a residency. I have a residency at Mr. Henry's now. It's a very intimate, small place. Seats about 70 people or something like that. You know, and the people are right there on you,
and you can feel them, and they can feel you.
That's right, and it's you know, I usually, when I'm doing those shows, I slow down. You know what I mean? I'd slow down, and it's a conversation. You know, we kept talking back and forth, and I go into to kind of like explain. I'm going to do a song, but I'm going to tell you what the song is about or what the feeling is before I do it. It's a different vibe. 20,000 people. It's all.
Is that intimidating?
It's crazy, but the energy level goes up so high.
You ain't got time to worry about making mistakes.
Yeah.
You just perform it.
Yeah, the energy level is so high because there's so much energy coming at you from an audience that size.
Which foreign city moved you the most throughout the years?
Hong Kong.
For real?
Yeah, I was in Hong Kong, and first of all, Hong Kong feels like New York. It's like that vibe is a lot of energy, and we were at the Queen Elizabeth Stadium, right? Place was, packed. You know, they don't understand you understand them, but once you start singing, they know every word. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy. So
I saw something that I Rolling Stones in Tokyo singing Satisfaction. That was them. Yes. I don't get no do. Yeah. And you would think that the Japanese people are speaking English.
Yeah, they're singing
because
every word.
They know the song
every
verbatim. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's another one of my favorite places, Tokyo.
Tokyo as well, right? Tokyo as well.
Yeah.
So you're originally from DC?
I'm originally from DC. Yeah. I actually moved to New York. I lived in Manhattan for 30 years.
Uptown.
Because you kind of explained that DC is a go-go town.
Go. And you're a lover.
Yeah.
You sing love music.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I moved to the mountain. I moved to the mountain to give myself a chance.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Tell me about DC in the '60s, man.
Oh, in the '60s.
My dad graduated from Howard. I believe it was in '44. So that's 20 years. That's 20 years before y'all graduated from high school, and he's an island boy. And we had a governor who graduated from Howard University, Dr. Schneider, who we named the hospital after in St. Thomas. And we have a rich history with Howard University here in the Virgin Islands. So tell me about life in D.C. in growing up and all that stuff.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I can go all the way back to when I was in daycare, actually.
Wow.
Parkview Playground. They had a daycare. Nursery. They called it nursery school. I would say that Washington was very avant-garde when it comes to providing daycare services because all of the community recreational centers had nursery schools. So that's where I started, at a nursery school. And I ended up majoring in early childhood education, and I ended up being a Head Start director, and I also opened up a business in Washington. So I would say that Washington was the place that had it was an institution within itself, a place, a school without walls, like the Smithsonian Institute and the Phillips Art Gallery. And growing up in Washington,
You're Howard grad as well?
no, I did. I went to graduate school. I graduated from Rutgers. I graduated from Maryland State College, Princess Anne, Maryland. But I went to graduate school in New Brunswick at Rutgers.
Of course, my Jersey, man.
In Jersey.
Yeah. That's my stomping ground. I love Jersey.
Yeah, but I'm glad you asked about Washington because Washington has changed tremendously.
Yeah,
You wouldn't even
and
know it.
It's been in the limelight for the last 90 days, and you know what I'm saying? With the getting the National Guard involved and all that stuff. But the way I see it, right? People, leaders do things, and you learn from experiences. When you reject them because your natural, behavior is to want to live life how you used to live in life. But in the end, you take something from it and you see if there's any value in it. So I guess that comes with age. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, I would have been in full rebellious mode. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Tell the public why St. Croix is such a beautiful place, and the Virgin Islands in general.
The people know how to greet you.
Virgin Islands hospitality.
Virgin Islands hospitality. Because I spent a little time in New York working at with NABOB and going up to their the president Percy Peppy Sutton's office, and they were on the 40th floor, and I get in the elevator and I go, "Good morning," and people look, and I'm like, "Wow, it's such a difference."
They ain't got no manners.
They don't have no manners.
That's the term we don't use. They ain't got no manners. You know what I mean?
But I'm glad you asked me about that, because to me, I ended up staying here because I felt the energy, the synergy. This is paradise. We're living literally, it's an acre diamond, and because we're focused on cancer, I wholeheartedly believe that the cure is right here. I believe that. And so you can even ask Joe what was his feeling coming here, because this is his first time to St. Croix. Yes.
Man, Joe, what took you so long, man?
How about that? Right?
You got me speaking that Yankee twang. Huh? What took you so long?
I don't know yet. The closest I guess I got was Virgin Gorda over there.
Okay, that's that way.
That way, okay.
That way, that way, yeah. But it's beautiful over there too.
Yeah,
I'm sure you had a good time over there.
I did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I'm kind of sad that it took me so long to get it. This is really beautiful.
Yo, better late
than never.
You know what I'm saying? So we're good with that. We're good with that.
Yeah. And I have to say this:
he's gonna be performing this weekend.
He is. He's staying at the Buccaneer, which is one of our co-hosts.
He's in trouble.
He's performing there this evening.
He's coming back.
He's coming back.
You stay at the Buccaneer. I live at St. Croix. I've spent some nights at the Buccaneer Hotel.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's a beautiful facility.
It is.
You go down by the beach and all that stuff. Hey,
yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So you'll be back. I'm not even worried about that.
No, yeah. My room, the water comes right up to in my room and just
flowing.
Just comes right. So, come out on my little.
Glad to have you here, man.
Wow. Yeah, man.
So tell me about the performance.
Well, to begin with, this afternoon from 2 to 4, we have concert pianist Philippa Smith-Tyler, and she's doing a special musical presentation, and it's all about the arts at the Buccaneer.
At the Buccaneer, up there.
Right, and that's for, we're welcoming our guest here, and we're also hosting this event for cancer survivors, for breast cancer survivors. So it's called See Music and Sketch Art.
Joe, you singing this afternoon, 2 o'clock?
And then the second show is this evening.
That's him.
That's him at 7 o'clock.
So we're going to get him to assimilate in the afternoon.
Exactly.
And then he does his thing in the night. We're talking with Miss Diane Hampton and her special guest here and Analyze This, Mr. Joe Coleman from the Platters. We're going to talk breast cancer when we come back. I just had to make them comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So we'll take a break and be back right after this.
Wow. This is
And we're back here on Analyze This, and I got a text message from one of the people. They had me to know the Canagator women went to Howard too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, DC Canagator, you know, I got a soft spot for him because that was my dad's idol. You know, that's the reason why Dr. James became a doctor. One of the reasons, actually. So the Canagator women. So I text back, Jerry. Make sure I get all the name them. Irene, Claire, Rita, and Melba. So I'm waiting for you. Answer me back, Jerry, to let me know if I got it right. Right? Okay, that's mommy and three auntie them. Okay? So let me know if I got that one right. You know, Howard University, big in the Virgin Islands. Vaughn Hodge, who we brag about all the time. You know, great. Howard. I think it's the Bisons. I think it's the Howard University Bisons.
It's the Bisons.
The Bisons,
yes.
you know what I'm saying? So we're good with that. I'd like to welcome back Diane Hampton and her special guest here on Analyze This, Mr. Joe Coleman from the Platters. When did the Platters disband? Or are you guys still in effect?
Oh, most people do not know that the actual main group of the Platters disbanded in 1963, around 63, 64.
So you had a reiteration of it coming back after that?
Well, the Platters were unique in the fact that in the sense that they were the only group at that time that formed a corporation. It was called Five Platters Inc. And each of the Platters owned 20% of the name. That's
a brilliant business move.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and so, when the initial group broke up,
So how'd they get you?
Well, I was living in New York, and a friend of mine who was a lounge singer in Atlantic City called me up, and she said, "Joe, I was with some guys from the Drifters that came by my show last night, and they said that the Platters were looking for a new singer, new group member, and here's the number."
And the rest is history.
Yeah, call them up. Without audition.
You did the actual audition.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they heard that voice, the contract was waiting.
There you go, man. That's how I went.
I like that. Let's talk breast cancer. We're gonna come back to Joe. Joe's story sweet, you know what I mean? I like that. Breast cancer in the Virgin Islands right now. Give us the terrain, the platform as to where we are and what we could do to build greater consciousness and not just have it be recognized in a special month or a week, what have you.
Yeah, breast cancer comes at any given time, any moment. So we just acknowledge or recognize it in October, but it goes on every month, 12 months out of the year. It shows up when you least expect it. But currently, looking at the recent data from the American Cancer Society, we have
by the way, I didn't mean to cut you off. And I know yesterday I had on a guest and people were knocking me for cutting off and all that stuff. But I just wanted to know, Miss Hampton, you're down St. Croix. And on this show, the word is data, not data.
Data. Oh, the data.
The
okay,
data.
The data is so
Speak
important.
that crucial with me to this man.
Okay, man.
The data.
The data. It just wasn't there. And,
I have fun with people when I do that. No, you can pronounce it how you want. But I like that. On this show, it's like the St. Croix Avis. You know, they see the newspaper they say the Avis. No, Avis is a rent-a-car. And St. Croix is the Avis. So the data.
The data.
So the data says what?
The data says that we have a very high rate here in the Virgin Islands and mortality rate. As in fact, my condolences to all the listeners who knew and loved Yvonne Ashley Gallagher, because she founded the Breast Cancer Foundation and she passed away.
That was rough.
It's rough. So we were actually including a memorial tribute dedicated to her tomorrow evening. So because when I met Yvonne, I was very impressed with what she was doing and got involved with working with the YAC group. And so it was a shock to everyone. And so you can see, you just never know when it's going to be your time.
Yeah,
you know, I tell people that's why you have to pay attention. We have to be very vigilant about self-care. And I know the American Cancer Society recently started a special research project. We were not selected to be a part of that study, but it is called Voices, and it's a program that only enrolls African American women, young women in their early ages, and they're following their lifestyle, like what kind of food they eat, their whole lifestyle. And they definitely, in order to be to qualify to be in this program, you can't have breast cancer. So they're going to look at over a time frame how many of the women in different sections of the United States end up with breast cancer, and what does it have to do with your diet or whatever. But recently I went to the National Breast Cancer Coalition Summit in Washington, and one of the guest speakers was Dr. Davis. She's an African American doctor who's done over 30 years of research on breast cancer. And what was so alarming is that her research shows that there is a high mortality rate for breast cancer women on the west coast of Africa.
That's our ancestors in Ghana and Senegal and Liberia.
Right.
The whole area there.
And then on the east coast of the United States, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., the rates are very high. And so according to what her research, it's all directly related to trauma.
Stress.
Oh, stress. And when the mothers lost their children during that period where they were, families were being separated and stolen, that trauma permeates throughout your cells. And so, but I'm hoping that, I know YAG is going to do a big conference here in 2026. And I haven't shared this with them yet, but I'm letting you know, Cassandra Dunn, if you're listening, you want to have Dr. Davis here.
She don't text me already.
She texts you already. Oh, yeah. Because, we need to pay attention. And that's one of the reasons why Dr. Bernard DeLeek, who is my partner in this project, our focus is on research. And although we have not been successful in getting funding from the National Institute of Health, and now they've been defunded. So if not, we have to do our own research. And that's why the VI Breast Cancer Project initiatives, our therapy, bringing these women and men together, we can find out there are a lot of similarities in our behavior and our background. Our ancestral connection is one definitely identifiable root that we all collectively have. And so,
you're living this experience right now.
I'm living it. I lived it through my mother, who had breast cancer from the age she was in her late 40s, and she died at 82. But I am I started off being an advocate for breast cancer. Then I ended up with cancer right at the beginning of COVID, but not breast cancer.
I read that here.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'm really grounded here. I can talk about cancer because
You're living it.
I'm living it.
Yeah.
I'm living it.
Wow, you feeling good, man? You sound
I feel
good.
great. I'm not sick.
Your
I
voice,
just have cancer.
your voice sounds strong.
Yeah. And I tell people now, when I'm asking for financial support, I show up. And I had an experience with an organization here, and the director said, and you're just showing up. I said, look, cancer shows up when you least expect it. So I told Joe that last night, and because he wanted to know the program. And look, we're not doing all of that. We are going to be in the moment. If we can shift our thinking and understanding that when you go into a doctor's office and they come in and tell you, oh, you've been diagnosed with cancer, it's like, wow, you're not expecting that.
Yeah, because the first thought is the clock's ticking.
Yes, that you've just got a death sentence.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then just listening to people, hearing them talk, to hear them say, well, I'm going to beat it. That's the first mentality that you would want everybody to think, I'm gonna lick this. This thing ain't gonna take me out. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So to me, that's that mentality. Joy, you in the music industry. I'm sure you've lost a lot of people that you knew in the industry to illness and all that stuff. What's that like when you see in a group and then you notice, wait, somebody's missing? That had to have been impacting on you.
Yeah. In recent times, it seems like we've lost so many great artists, one right after the other. And so yes, it's definitely an impact. Like I said earlier, we it's kind of like a little family. We're traveling around the country and around the world, whatever, and run into each other. hey, we're really happy to see one another, and we see something even online. It's somebody that is getting some kind of award or got a new record or all that stuff. It's very exciting. So it's sad. I'm sorry. It's sad to have to experience that, but it's life. We're talking about life in its truest sense. That we know the time nor the hour. The day.
I'm a sports junkie. I'm a music guy and all that stuff. And one of the things, they like to compare eras, right? They're like, oh, it was better 30 years ago. These guys nowadays, these are great athletes. Those guys back there, they were plumbers and all that stuff, all these derogatory terms. But the way I look at it is, you deal with the circumstances that are in front of you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the best victories are the ones where you got to overcome obstacles. It's easy to drive on a paved road.
Yeah.
If you could navigate potholes and all that stuff and still get to where you want to go to, then there's something about that, right? That's rewarding. So, just processing what people have to go through. And when that point that you made, Ms. Hampton, that stress. I mean, 2013, I'm down here in Estate Watergut, and we're having a conversation with two of my mentors, I could say, and both of them passed. One passed in October last year, and one just passed in July this year. And I'll never forget this conversation. And it goes back to what you said, right? We're there, and there's this homeless guy that comes up, and he had grown up with the same two guys, and gave him a Freco and all that stuff. So when he walked off, he started going through his mental thing. He was suffering from mental illness. The year I graduated from college, and that was 87, right? So this is 26 years later, and we're there talking, and it was like everything came full circle to me, and I want the audience to listen to this, right? He walks off, and I said X and Sila. These are two of my boys that just passed away recently, and I was talking to them. This is 2013. I said, Bobo, and he actually was murdered a couple of years ago, right? And Sila was murdered last year. So we've been dealing with some things here. That same stress you're talking about, right? I said, when I came home from college, I saw him because he used to be a boxer, big physical guy and all that stuff. And he's still alive. And I've seen a lot of healthy people that passed away. It was in a 26-year period. And I said, you know what that telling me? Stress. Because he don't have a worry in the world. He's homeless. That's just the reality of the deal. You know what I'm saying? They're out there in the elements. I mean, I would prefer that he not be homeless. Right. But a lot of them, they assimilate. Right? So when I heard you just now say that, their research and they're looking back at it, and stress was a contributing factor to this kind of, because they're losing the children, losing family members, all that stuff.
Yes.
There's something to that.
There is definitely something to that.
When I think about it, you put that on you put that on yourself. And before you know it, you're a shell of yourself.
Yes,
that's true. That is so true.
Because more worries, more problems.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
I never thought of it in that context until you just tell me that. Wow. So you say it tracing back to our ancestors in West Africa.
Ancestors in West Africa. Yes. And speaking of Africa,
and people of color are the number one per capita.
we're the number. We have the highest
mortality rate. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
The white people, especially white women, they have the highest cases of being diagnosed with breast cancer.
For real?
But they have access to the care,
the resources
that we don't have. And that's what I'm so passionate about here in the Virgin Islands, because you're American, everyone should have equal
Everyone.
access, everyone. And it's a violation of our civil rights because we're human beings.
Yes, that's right.
And we should have access to quality care. There's no reason why I should have to, or any of the listening audience out there who are cancer patients or survivors who you have to get on a plane, navigate your way, fly into Miami, and then fly stateside to get surgery or your treatment, or to fly to Puerto Rico. Or even now, you're going to have to hope, the cancer center in St. Thomas will be opening soon, but you still have to get from your house to the plane, get on the plane, get off the plane, get a cab, and go to the It's the journey, the traveling, that also adds additional stress, too.
You come on my show singing like Malcolm X's man,
Malcolm
Miss
X,
Hampton, Miss Hampton.
Any means necessary,
No, but you just quoted something that he said in an interview.
Really?
And I reference it on this show all the time. He said, this is the 60s, and this is 60 years ago. He said, right, this ain't a civil rights issue. This is a human rights issue.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't want, and I was like, wow. This dude was way ahead of his time. He said this ain't a color issue. You don't treat human people like how you're treating us. We happen to be the victims at this particular point, but it's a human rights issue. And you just said that. And I don't think you even noticed that you said that.
I didn't.
You know what I'm saying? Because you were talking about the access to resources. You know what I'm saying? And the science. And the medicine that you need. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a Magic Johnson fan. Right? Big Magic Johnson fan. It's been 34 years come November. 34. When he announced that he was HIV positive. 34, 1991. And here we are in 20. He looking stronger now than he did then. Why? He was fortunate. He had access to resources.
Access.
That's right.
It's a perfect example, a living example. You know what I'm saying? So, you're absolutely correct. We're going to take a break, come back. We got Diane Hampton in the house, and she brought a special guest, Mr. Joe Coleman from the Platters. He's going to also tell us, he's going to actually sing. He's going to sing something for me this morning. Right, you're going to sing a little verse or something for me this morning.
He put you on the spot,
Did he
Joe.
now?
He
Sure
put
did.
you on the
You know what I'm
spot.
saying? 'Cause he ain't going to sing this afternoon alone up at the Buccaneer, and don't drop a bar or two. Drop a bar or two for me here this morning. I didn't analyze this. It's a breast cancer support project, right? We got a project going on.
Yeah, we have a lot. And Tony Richards is
is
playing the piano up there. He's accompanying him.
No. He's going to have fun this afternoon for sure. We'll take a break and be back right after this.
Yeah.
And we're back here and analyze this. Now, check this out, right? My producers, right? The Rafi Encarnaciones and Marisol Garcias and my engineers and all that stuff. They hooked me up with the best guests, right? And the guest for today was Diane Hampton. Diane Hampton was the guest for today. She was the guest because we're talking about, breast cancer awareness. She's a breast cancer advocate. They got a number of projects they're dealing with and all that stuff. She decided, well, she's going to one up WTJX. Yeah. They got their own production, but I going to bring somebody to show them about production. So I bring in Joe Coleman with me. That's what Diane Hampton did. So I pull up your bio, and I come to see again, like a lot of people, you started singing in church.
Of course.
That's where I started at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just after cuff. I believe like 90% of all singers started in church.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and this is not black singers. I'm talking white, everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Even like Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose started in church. You know what I'm saying?
That's
right?
That's right.
And that foundation,
yeah,
it can't hurt you, but it only helps. It makes things better.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you did that and part of choirs and all that stuff, right?
That's right.
And then you were a lead singer with the Platters, man?
That's what I was. Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
So after that audition, that Atlantic City hookup, you were good to go. What was your favorite Platters song that you enjoyed singing?
Actually, it's my prayer.
My
prayer is to linger with you at the end of the day in a dream that's divine. That kind of thing. Just beautiful words and just a lot of emotion.
When I went to college in the 80s, I went to school out in Long Island. We had a terminology for people like you. They tell you, he's nice.
Okay.
Before we used to say, that's a bad dude. That dude could sing. And then when I went to college, they said, nah, man, that dude is nice. You know what I'm saying? You're nice.
Thank
you know what I'm saying?
Praise God.
Nah,
Thank you,
man. And I'm sure we're going to have a good time this afternoon.
We're going to have a ball.
And this evening up there as well. So you got a project coming up, event coming up next week, Friday.
Yes.
Give me some details on that. Sheila is a story.
It's a story,
the life
story of Sheila Johnson, who I personally knew. We did the National Breast Cancer Coalition training. I met her at the Lead Training Institute that's sponsored by the National Breast Cancer Coalition. And
she's one of we, or she from the States?
She's from the States.
She's from the States.
She was in the Air Force. And so last year when I went to the conference, they put her picture up there. They do a memorial tribute at the opening, and there was her picture. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, Sheila? It's like she was here today, and now she's going out. I didn't know they were even making a movie. So the Caribbean Cinema, I wrote them and asked them would they support this project by letting us show this film for National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I got an immediate response.
Okay,
so for BET to produce this film, it's awesome. We are going to show a quick clip, a trailer at the dinner tomorrow night, so that people can really see the dynamics of this dynamic woman who is a trailblazer and a member of the National Breast Cancer Coalition.
That's awesome.
So that's what that's about.
And so let's talk about the event. Next Caribbean, where's the event gonna be at next Friday?
Next Friday,
yeah,
on the 30th,
Halloween,
for Halloween. It's at the theater. We're showing the real movie.
Showing the real movie.
We're showing the real movie.
That's awesome.
But we're gonna show the trailer at our dinner tomorrow night.
Quickly, Wallace Williams said that you've done some work. You did some work with St. Mary's School back in the day. You did some production work.
Oh my gosh! At St. Mary's, I was a third grade teacher. I implemented
He sent me the production thing at Florence Williams Library, man. Wallace Williams hooked me up, man.
What?
You a big shot. Yeah, man.
I'm a big shot.
Yeah,
man.
Man.
Well, I've done events. I work for NABOB, the National Association of Black-Owned Broadcasters, and every year we had an awards dinner, and we honored people like Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Janet Jackson, Berry Gordy. Spike Lee, Denzel. I've met all of these people. I didn't meet Michael Jackson because I was here in St. Croix. But
You know, once upon a time, he was coming here to buy property down in West Down in Prosperity.
I heard.
And we
You all upped the price when they found out it was Michael.
Man,
What happened?
we screwed that up, man. We specialize at making things difficult for us.
You do.
Yo, man.
Yeah.
I love my people. You know, I love us. You know what I'm saying? But
You love your people.
I love my people. We do things, man. We could have had Mike and Jermaine wanted to be here.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Well, it was just not. It wasn't supposed to happen.
That's
Everything happens for a reason.
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
like I'm still here. I didn't expect. Well, when I first came, I just surrendered. I said, "This is paradise for me."
Man.
I surrendered.
But they probably saw paradise too. We just didn't realize. You know what I'm saying? How to take advantage of it. Right?
Oh yeah.
Is Mike the greatest? The way you look at it?
Ooh. I went to see Mike. I when I was in New York, I owned a floral shop called the Daily Blossom.
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah.
And so we did flowers for Mike when he came to the garden.
Wow.
In his room and all that, whatever. And so he gave us these great seats right down front, not down in the pit because they were passing out down there, by the way. They literally passed them out.
You don't necessarily want to be in the front row.
Yeah.
You want to be like 10, 15 rows behind. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. So he had great seats. He tore that place up. You hear me? He lit that place up top to bottom.
Everybody's entitled to their opinions, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But everybody's entitled to their facts, right?
No, he's bad man.
Mike.
Bad man.
Mike was it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I saw a clip because him and Diana Ross had this special relationship, right? So she's singing in L.A. at the Forum, and she invites Mike up on the stage. She's singing "Upside Down, You Turn Me." She made a mistake and gave Mike the microphone. And he started singing it. Yeah. The band realized, we got to cut this off because he's sounding better than her. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Mike was gifted.
Yeah, and you want to talk about nice. Now that's real nice.
Real nice. You mentioned Smokey. You mentioned Smokey? Who was it? You mentioned Smokey.
Yeah.
Smokey was really he was the man, wasn't he?
He was. I mean, besides being a fabulous singer.
Sing that.
Songs.
I'm gonna play the rhythm. You sing it. You sing "Cruise In." Just sing the 2 words. Doom 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 doom. Cruise with me.
Cruise with me, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. So let's do it. Let's do it together. This is a special moment. I like this, right? I'm gonna do it, right? Doom 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 doom.
Cruise with me, baby.
You heard it. You heard it right here. I analyze this. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Mr. Como.
Oh,
we just collaborate.
Yeah.
I like that. Miss Hampton, you making my week, man.
Yeah, man.
Making my week, man.
But you can't forget about we're doing the Queen of Hearts, Queen and Queen and Kings.
Do your thing.
That I've always admired Clara Roker and her involvement in managing and running the talented teens pageant for over 40 years. And I knew Hal Jackson. Hal used to be one of our top radio disc jockeys in D.C. And then he went to New York, and that's where I got to meet him personally because I worked with NABOB and Inner City Broadcasting Corporation. But oh my gosh, it's just amazing. So there's a lot of history related to this Queen and King crowning ceremony that I did my homework, and it all goes back to the continent again, to our ancestors, kings and queens of Africa. So the Virgin Islands,
the motherland,
all that breastfeeding that we did, and we end up, all that breastfeeding they did there and had to do it here on the plantation. We did a lot of breastfeeding, and we're the ones that keep losing our breast. Listen, so looking at the tradition, historically speaking, of the relevance of just being a queen, understanding that your throne is you.
Yes.
So
your body is your temple.
Body is your temple.
Right.
So thanks to Clara and the talented teens and all the pageants that they have here, I looked up the pageantry. every year there's a queen, either at the UVI or at the yearly Christmas ceremony. These young people take pride in that. That is very important. And you come to the stage with your talent. And so we're crowning the breast cancer survivors, and we put out a call for the men who have breast cancer. We haven't heard from any, you know.
No. By the way, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Cassandra done said it ain't just women alone. It's men.
It's the men,
Men
yes.
as well, yeah.
It's the men.
Yeah.
So we put out our invitation to crown the queen and kings crowning ceremony. So we didn't hear from any of the men who out there. We know you're out there, and we know you've been diagnosed with breast cancer. Call us. So we've shifted to honoring the men who have prostate cancer, because I remember that Yvonne Yag started the first march in Frederiksted, and the men came out in their boxers and the bras. It was a fun day. And that's when Yag had the conference at UVI, and Kim Coles was here, because I knew Kim from NABA, because we would always have her come to be the MC. So I had that connection, and she was willing to come, and she was their guest speaker, and we did an event. Yag did an event at the Pink Spot, you know, the Pink Spot, like we're at the Pink Hotel. All of that's very significant when you look at how you brand a place. And that's why the Buccaneer Hotel is a very important destination, because there are programs all over the country, all over the world, that celebrate National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I'm like, let's look at how we can brand our island and shift the focus.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. By the way,
you know, because we're all looking for a solace place.
I want to give a shout out. The two things I want to do, make sure I do before I leave, because when you get old, you don't miss, you don't forget things, you know.
Yeah.
While you're here, make sure you play some calypso music while he's here, so that he could get that genre up in his mix.
You see.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Okay, so tell Tony Rich, as Neville said, to teach Joe Coleman a little bit about the calypso rhythm. You see, he done walking up. He already walking up. He already walking up in the coat already.
Well, you can come Friday night and get it going. We can have a house party at the Buccaneer.
See that? That's why I'm talking
A
about.
house party at the
And
Buccaneer.
then my friend Lola Willis said, "Good morning, nice show. My mother died of cancer, and I'm a cancer survivor so far too." So so I just want you to know, thanks to you, people reaching out to me here, and because they're relating to it, you know what I mean. So I really want to thank you for making some time to come. This morning, you know.
Because the numbers are increasing with men with prostate cancer, and they are men are very reluctant to even go to the doctors. But let me tell you, it's an easy exam.
You just
it's
touched on
an
something.
easy exam.
My uncle, my adopted uncle out at St. John, Eddie Bruce, he said, while you're at it, data indicates VI has the highest per capita rate of prostate cancer related deaths in America. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So you just mentioned it, and Eddie texted to me a little while ago. You know what I mean? So, but that's the greatest of this show. You know that people, the audience buys in to what we trying to accomplish. We're a conversation talk show. You know, we're not into I got you, or trying to bring people here to embarrass them and all that stuff. Like a lot of bad news. I don't really like to talk bad news on my show. You can get that everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Here. So one of my boys told me that, that my mouth bass the collaboration we did, that I was out of tune. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell him, don't worry about me.
Yeah.
Listen to the man sing it. So I'm gonna do it again. Don't worry about the bass. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna do it again, right? Doom doo doo doom 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 doom.
Cruise with me, baby.
Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen,
We moved it up. We
took it to another level. You know what I'm saying? That's Joe Coleman from the Platters. We were fortunate this morning, courtesy of Miss Diane Hampton, to have Joe here.
Yeah.
As fate would have it, they were high school buddies back in the day.
Yep. Guess what?
Graduating the same class.
Yep. Guess what I just found out today?
Tell me.
And she was sitting there and she mentioned Park View
Yes.
Elementary School. I went to Parkview Elementary School,
That's
so we
where
know.
we went to elementary
So
school
we didn't know
together.
that we knew each other then, but we were little kids. We
So-
probably
so
didn't
you
realize
read
that
it-
we knew each other.
So I'm gonna say
I
this.
lived on Water Street. Where did you live?
A Princeton place.
Yeah.
Right around the corner
Around
near
the
the
corner.
Johnsons.
Yo, check this out.
Wait
Yo,
a minute.
You got my engineer laughing, right?
753 Princeton place.
Yo, check this out, right? Hold up a second. Y'all gonna say this. I'm gonna say this in the Yankee twang, right?
Yeah.
Y'all analyze this to reminisce about
Exactly.
growing up in D.C.
And growing up in D.C.
Parkview Elementary getting a shout out
Yes, sir.
on Analyze
Oh,
This
yeah.
on a Friday morning here
Friday
in
morning.
the
Oh, God.
Virgin Islands. Hey, congratulations, man.
Thank you. I was Miss
you
Parkview
putting
for
away.
2 years in a row.
That's,
Do you
that's,
remember
that's
that?
what I'm talking
I
about.
got
That's
crowned
what
2
I'm talking
years
about.
in a row.
Yo, he was worrying about music. He wasn't paying
Yeah.
attention. Mr.
I've
Coleman,
been
pleasure to
attention.
meet you, man.
Man, it was
Congratulations
my absolute pleasure to be here.
and
Thank
all
you.
that good stuff. And you're nice.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
You know what I'm saying? And Miss Hampton, thank you very much.
Yeah.
You know he's
Appreciate
coming out Sunday at the
Sunday, what time?
the Prosperity Distillery.
Yeah. The thing down in Frederick's, correct.
From 7 to
7,
10.
yeah.
7 to 10.
We got to walk our way down there. Have fun.
And
While you're here-
Mario's going to be there.
Yeah,
performing.
have
Mario
some
Thomas,
fun and do a little local thing, Quelbe music and some calypso.
Yeah, let me see what I can
And
come
I
up
don't
with,
see you
man.
walking up in the chair and the couch already, so you're ready to go.
Yeah, man.
And we're good with that. Hey, Danny, good job today on the board. And I want to thank my producers for hooking me up with the best way to end the week here on Analyze This with Miss Diane Hampton and Joe
man.
Coleman. Thank you very much to both of
you.
y'all.
Ooh,
Enjoy
it's
the weekend,
awesome.
everybody. Be good and be
Thank you.
safe. And talk to you on Monday, God willing.
The views and opinions expressed on Analyze This are entirely those of the on-air participants and do not reflect those of the station's board, management, staff, or underwriters.